Hey everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter. It's a sports podcast where we're talking about sports, and guess what, guys? Little milestone episode here. We are at episode number 50. So welcome
Half a
to
century,
50.
baby.
There we go, half a century. I know what we're gonna call 50 there, but 50 mark here. So welcome, guys. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trey.
How's it going, fellas?
Good to be here. Good to be back this week. Big week, wild card weekend, or what is it? Sorry, super wild card weekend.
Don't forget that super. It's a big part of it.
I'm not gonna lie. I have been looking forward to this episode. Last couple of days here, obviously tons of news, tons of coaching news, tons of NFL news, tons of national championship stuff. It's been football aplenty, if you will. We got lots to talk about, guys. Like lots to talk about here. So
sure do.
Let's jump right into it. I'm really kind of looking at obviously the glaring news currently right now with not 10 yet, but we're up to 8 football coaches being relieved of duties in the NFL. So, which when you really look at it, you think, you got 32 teams. You have 8 of the coaches now relieved of their duties. It's a pretty steep hill.
A quarter.
There. Yeah, it's a quarter of the team, a quarter of the coaches.
Yeah.
So obviously some big names: Pete Carroll, Belichick, Rivera. You had Arthur Smith. You had Vrabel.
Vrabes, yeah.
And then you also had his name's leaving me right now from the Chargers. I can't remember his name.
Staley.
Yep, Staley McDaniels, and then obviously Frank Wright from the Colts. From the Panthers now. A lot of coaches, a lot of movement. Thoughts? What we got? Surprises?
Well, I think my first thought is what was Schefter's number
10.
that we always was a 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're almost there, which is I thought crazy when we were going through it earlier this year. But not only were we almost at 10, but there's some names on there that I did not see coming. One of them being Vrabel. I think he's the ultimate players coach, a guy you want to play for. Intense, never quits, never really gives up. The other one was Pete Carroll. I know he wasn't necessarily fired, I guess. I say that with finger quotes, but he sounds like he still wants to coach. They're trying to move him in the front office, but the way he's talking, I think if he gets an opportunity, I think he might take it to go elsewhere. But just those two names specifically are the ones that really stood out to me. I know Belichick was kind of talked about earlier, so that wasn't too much of a surprise. But yeah, it was just the Vrabel and Pete Carroll was pretty out of nowhere in my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I don't think the Pete Carroll news was that shocking. I mean, maybe if you would have listened back to maybe like episode, 30-something, when we were talking about, coaches. Remember, we went through each division, and, I think Schefter put it at over 8.5 or over 7.5 that could be fired?
I think that's about right.
Right, and I do believe we discussed and said Pete Carroll could very well be gone. Mm-hmm. With that, I think they have a talented enough roster that they should be winning games. I mean, their defense isn't awful. Their 2 cornerbacks are 2 of the youngest, probably very talented cornerbacks that you're seeing in the league. And then you have, running game-wise and passing game-wise, I know Geno might not be, I think Geno is a serviceable quarterback there. But I think they had to win, and Carroll not getting them in the playoffs this year. But did they finish 10-7?
No, I believe they were 9-8.
So that's my thing though. Pete Carroll took Geno Smith in the playoffs in them last year, right?
Yeah.
So he had 1 year where he doesn't go to the playoffs, and you move on from him. I thought it was kind of surprising.
Trey, I don't even know necessarily that it's like a bad blood. We're moving on from you. I think they just want something fresh.
But I don't know. You have a guy that you took away a franchise quarterback that he's worked with for years, trade Russell Wilson away, and granted, he might have been involved in that and wanted that, but you go from Russell Wilson to Geno Smith and you don't miss a beat. I thought that was pretty impressive on his part and on the franchise's part in general. So I don't know. It's just I don't remember talking about Pete Carroll even earlier this year, but I definitely wouldn't have supported that or agreed with that if that's the case. So
I honestly go ahead, Trent.
Maybe it's just karma for him bailing on that USC, those USC years where all the players and kids had to suffer through that, and Reggie Bush had to lose a Heisman Trophy because of him letting that happen. So I don't know. He just kind of ducked and ran. I don't really feel too bad for him.
I don't.
I actually think he's going to get hired. I think somebody's going to hire him. I know they said he's going to be some sort of advisory role, but you could hear in his press conference he's not done. Which, to me, I mean, holy hell, he's 72. But I don't know. Maybe it was just kind of I know it's not college, but maybe it's kind of the old Saban thing of where it was just like, Tyler, I think you said it. He's older, and they want to kind of get somebody newer, younger, fresher that guys know is going to be there for a longer time. You know what I mean? To maybe attract some key free agents in that case.
For sure.
So I would like to. Can we circle back to the Vrabel scenario?
I was actually going to touch on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, why don't you go ahead? I just wanted to get us back there.
I think, honestly, I know it's been talked about a lot, is that, Vrabel, obviously the replacement, for New England, which if you're seeing some of the, the rumblings here in the news, it's not sounding like that. It is kind of sounding like they had a guy already lined up with, what was that, Jared
Mayo.
Yeah. All right. So it almost to a point where they were setting him up even during this year. That's the name being floated around.
Who's going to be the coach?
Jared Mayo.
Former linebacker.
He played linebacker for the Patriots. Am I right?
Is it Gerard?
Gerard. I'm sorry.
Gerard.
Yes.
Gerard.
But so
he's a coach now?
Yeah, he's been calling the defense there, I believe this.
Oh wow. I did not know that.
But I really truly think that Vrabel, them letting go of Vrabel, I feel like from the Titans standpoint was a very, very, very dumb decision. I honestly have seen this franchise kind of, I think, crumble a little bit since they let go of A.J. Brown on draft night to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
And you could maybe kind of see a little bit of splintering with the relationship between, maybe Vrabes and some of the higher ups and stuff. But I'll tell you whatever team gets him, I think I would compare, obviously, one of the newer coaches too. I would say Antonio Pierce out of Vegas. I mean, ultimate players coach. Both linebackers. The guys love him. The guys want to play for him. They never speak ill of him. And it's sad to me. And now you finally might have a quarterback in Will Levis for Tennessee. You got Derrick Henry, who sounded like he gave a farewell speech, and now you let go of your players coach guy that was coach of the year 2 years ago. I don't understand. I think the Titans are making a huge mistake here, and whatever team gets, somebody will. Whatever team gets Vrabes is very lucky.
Yeah, two things, Tyler. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's more of like a higher up thing than necessarily his performance or the players' reactions to him. Because, from what I hear is the owner that didn't want to trade Derrick Henry today had this in the cards at the end of the season, no matter what.
Yep.
Is that Vrabel was going to be let go. So I know they're getting
trade. You mean AJ Brown? Because they didn't. Or you're saying trading Derrick Henry?
Trading Derrick Henry at the deadline this year.
Yeah.
She got a bunch of offers and said no. And quite honestly, I think that was the wrong decision. You could get a haul from a decent franchise for Derrick Henry now, but
he was the leading rusher in the AFC this year.
But can you though? Because the way that running backs are valued, which I would say they aren't very valued anymore, can you really get a collective haul for Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Like what team? Maybe the Chiefs as a contender.
The Ravens.
But I don't think the Ravens are going to give because the Ravens are kind of next guy up mentality, and every back they put in the backfield seems to rush for about 2 touchdowns and 100 yards a game behind that offensive line.
Are they a next man up?
So imagine you put
Are they a next man up mentality after their signing?
But they signed a free agent. They didn't trade for him.
I'm just saying it's not a next man up mentality. It's, hey, let's just stock our team here.
Tyler, Gus Edwards was their top back. Dobbins
Trent,
went down, Mitchell
so
went down. It's a next man up mentality.
Well, that's well, that's the thing. I think they would have been the team that benefited most from a dominant player like Derrick Henry. Imagine those guys are running well behind that line and that offense. Imagine Derrick Henry,
right?
A 6'2" absolute beast pummeling down there. I mean, I think that a franchise like the Ravens or a franchise like the Dolphins or anyone like that would have given up more than what they should have to get Henry at the deadline because they know they can make a playoff push then.
Fair enough.
That's what I was getting at.
I don't like the teams that you're naming, though. I don't think the Dolphins needed to give a ton for a guy like Henry. I think they're good enough with what they have. I think the Ravens are good enough with what they have. Could he make them better? Yeah, I'm not disagreeing, but I look at those two teams as teams that don't need or didn't need him in order to do. I actually think with how rough the Chiefs are doing, I think that would be the team that could have used him because I mean Pacheco's good, but
I think they like Pacheco. I mean, is there ever a running back that's the guy in Kansas City or the Andy Reid offense?
Well, and I'll be honest with you, the comparison that I give to the way the Chiefs are running through running backs is I compare it a lot to what Dallas has been doing ever since Emmitt Smith. You haven't had a premier guy that you have stuck with for more than about 3 years. And it's just,
you didn't think Zeke wasn't the guy there?
For how long though? 3-4 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was on the team there for the last couple of years, but he wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, Trey, I'm interested because that's one storyline I didn't hear about, the Vrabel disagreement, because I actually heard it was more of Ty, you kind of touched on this, is as we know now, the GM involved in trading A.J. Brown was relieved of his duties, right? And I think Vrabel was also involved in that. And I think see them go...
Watch the draft day night. Watch draft day night.
To see them go from the 1 seed in the AFC to even, I believe, playing the AFC Championship one year to trading A.J. Brown and seeing how poorly it went. I mean, he's connected to it. I mean, he's the head coach at that time, so maybe...
Still, that's not nearly enough.
That's where they said it seemed to be pretty fractured as well. So, messy situation, and he's got to land. He's got to land somewhere quick. I mean, there's got to be these teams.
And so, in reference to that, where I think would be the perfect opportunity for the franchise and him. This team needs like a chip on their shoulder. They need to get tough. They need to play like bully ball more, I think, and they would be perfect.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Falcons?
Nope.
No.
Washington.
The LA Chargers.
Ooh, okay.
You put him with that roster, that talent, and you bring his mentality to them, they become a powerhouse team quickly, I think.
Do you guys want to know, and this is you guys are going to say, you're stupid, there's no way. I know the reports in the past couple weeks were, but you know where I think he is actually, it would scare me that he could end up?
Where's that?
It's a current team that does not have an opening, but will have an opening potentially.
Dallas?
Nope. The Steelers.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think the Steelers are going to consider giving Tomlin his contract, but also saying we're paying him, but we're trading you. So that way he can't, he doesn't have, that's kind of like their respect for him to say, hey, we are going to move in a different direction. We are going to trade you, but we are going to pay you. And this new team is going to have to fulfill that contract. You know what I mean? Like,
might be hard to move them then.
Hey, here you go.
But I think there's some teams, Trey, you're telling me a team like the Carolina Panthers or the Washington Commanders or even the Falcons wouldn't sit there and say, we want a guy like Tomlin? I mean, I'm not a Tomlin fan. I'm not a huge believer in him, but...
So what makes the Steelers want to move on from him? Just a fresh start? Is that what you're saying?
No, and it's not the Steelers. It's Tomlin's actually said he might want to move on for a fresh start. Almost like a Sean Payton scenario is what a lot of beat writers and stuff are comparing it to, is step away for a little bit, come back, or go somewhere else. But you ready for this though?
But you heard it here first.
Did not know this. All right, I didn't know that this is when he played for him, but Vrabel actually was a Steeler before he was a Patriot, and it was from 1997 to 2000. So looking at it, I'm guessing then he was drafted by the Steelers. So
You're just learning that now, though. I'm asking you.
yeah, I actually thought he played for the Steelers near the end of his career.
Well, because
I know he was a Steeler. I just didn't know what time period.
I was going to say with how many. I don't know why. I must have clicked on a Steelers post at some point in time, but how many Steelers fans posted that picture of Vrabel in his Steelers uniform?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Heading into this past week. So I was like, I didn't know that too. I mean, I saw that earlier in the week or before last week's games. And I was like, wait, is that real? And yeah.
It kind of surprises me they actually ever left the Steelers because I do feel like he is that Steelers linebacker type of player, you know? But
man, yeah. I would have hated Vrabel as a player if I would have watched him more. Steelers and the Patriots, man.
Dude, yeah, and how many touchdown passes he caught as a linebacker for the Patriots?
I think he has seven catches and 7 career touchdowns or something.
That's what I was gonna say. I always remembered in the playoffs him freaking going out and catching touchdowns, and it was like, if he's in the game, he's going out for a route, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
definitely, obviously an end of an era for a lot of these coaches. I mean, the other big name too, and we don't have to touch too much on it, but Nick Saban retiring from Alabama. Obviously, big news. Not sure anybody really saw that one coming, in a sense where it did seem like I had heard rumors, though, that he did kind of let the team know ahead of time.
Yeah.
But that was kind of relatively big news, obviously, yesterday as well. I mean, you got 3 big names for sure. I mean, Pete Carroll and Nick Saban yesterday, and then obviously Belichick today. I mean, that's looking at a lot of movement, a lot of stuff. And like I said, it's not to say that Carroll's not going to still coach. It's not to say that Belichick's not going to still coach, but definitely
Belichick's still coaching.
Oh, I know.
Belichick's going to the Falcons, guys.
It's the rumor I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense. Belichick, I think they're the Chargers. Well, I know we're talking about Saban, but
no, we can jump back. I just want to mention that.
But let me ask, what job out there, out of all these openings right now, would you consider, you personally think is the most intriguing? Hey, go there.
The Chargers, absolutely.
Chargers.
I think you have a
Chargers
quarterback
has
that's
potential with success.
Yeah, I think a huge part of that is just having Justin Herbert there.
But Trey, at the other hand, though, you could also make the argument for the Falcons because of the talent that they have and the division that they play in.
Yes.
Because the Chargers are in with Las Vegas, they're in with the Chiefs, they're in with the Broncos. I mean, that's a pretty tough division. But the Falcons are in, Saints. They're in with Panthers. They're in with the Buccaneers. It's like, that could and dude, you got Bijan Robinson, right? You got Kyle Pitts. I think what you obviously need is your quarterback.
Drake London.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's the case, then they need to make an off-season move or draft. And I wouldn't even say a draft. I think you need to acquire a quarterback, someone like Kirk Cousins, maybe.
Yes.
Somebody that's established already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You can't. It's just too tough to do nowadays. Is to come into a new franchise with a brand new quarterback and be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with Trey Chargers, like you said, because man, do they have weapons on offense and honestly on defense
everywhere. Yeah.
But Tyler, you make a good point with the Falcons. Of that's a division where you could literally go in there and win right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Falcons were pretty close to 500.
They were in a playoff hunt until last week.
Yeah, even with those, those quarterbacks that were struggling. So it is intriguing. I mean, I guess, so let me flip this now. Rather than the best.
It's easy.
Let's go. I don't know if it's as easy as you're saying, but I mean, I think there is one that is clearly the worst scenario, but which would be, in your opinion, the worst to get to?
Carolina.
I know who I would say. Yeah, absolutely.
Carolina?
You have no draft stock. You have no weapons around a quarterback that you drafted up to get that I don't think is going to be any good. And I think there is nothing about that job right now that looks good at all.
Well, quite frankly, your owner is a complete a-hole.
Yeah. I mean, when you're being compared to Dan Snyder, you're not in good
so
sights.
I was gonna say for me it was between the Panthers and the Commanders, but really thinking about the Commanders, I think they are kind of turning a corner and have a little bright light on their franchise coming up here. You got a new owner, you got a new stadium, you do have talent. Like their wideouts are good. They have a good running back in Brian Robinson Jr.
Is the new stadium thing official, Trey?
Yeah, they're gonna get a new stadium
in Arlington.
Don't know exactly where.
I'm pretty sure it's Arlington because that's where the Caps are being built. That's where I think the Wizards. Every Washington franchise is going into Arlington.
Then that would make sense then. But no, I just think that they're kind of on the up and up. And if Dan Snyder was still there, I would probably not say that. But the Panthers ownership is just god awful.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they don't know what they're doing.
Dude,
like Tyler said,
and he's the second richest owner in the NFL.
Yeah, it's just not a good situation there.
Yeah. But Tyler, that's part of his problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
He's not necessarily a football guy,
right?
Yeah, because he's the owner and he's the boss.
Yep.
He's making decisions. I mean, that trade one was probably one of the worst trades I've ever seen. And then two, you get rid of Christian McCaffrey, right? And then even just the decision where your head coach, who's a football guy, who's been in the NFL for how long? I know he's the first coach to ever be fired back-to-back for different teams, but the guy at least knows the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And if your head coach is saying, hey, I want this guy, meaning C.J. Stroud at the time, and you just sit there and say, nope, I like this guy.
Right.
And do that, like good. I mean, it's kind of probably a blessing for Frank, right? Because I'm pretty sure he got a pretty good chunk of money, and he's probably saying, "Oh well, yeah, my reputation's a little sour, but I got some money, and I'm out of that hellhole."
Well, so, and he's still a great offensive mind. Like he can find a job, maybe not even as a head coach,
exactly
in the near future,
hey,
but.
Who knows, Ty? Maybe the next Cedar Crest head coach. That's open. He's a Cedar Crest guy.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be wild.
Or hey, maybe he goes back to Philly. I mean, I know the offensive coordinator in Philly's being interviewed a lot too, so maybe he goes back to
really?
Philly. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Ty, I think you're right. I think he's going to get a job not as a head guy, but wherever he goes, he's going to be a huge asset.
Yeah,
I would take if as long as the Raiders hire Pierce, I would love the Raiders to hire Frank Reich as their OC.
That'd be awesome.
I would love that.
That'd be
absolutely
killer.
Love that.
Was Dable fired?
No.
Okay. All right.
But him and Wink, man, his DC.
Yeah,
they got rid of all of Wink's guys, and supposedly it was pretty ugly. Supposedly.
But do remember Wink did the same thing with Baltimore.
Yeah.
His real true he wants to be a head coach.
Does he though? Like is he too old?
No, he wants to be a head coach, and he's angry that he doesn't get any sort of head coaching looks. So he sits there and says, "Well, watch this. I'm going to go to this next place and prove myself here."
Yeah.
So I actually think he might get hired as a head coach here. With how many openings? He's a big name in the market.
All right, so here's a kind of hypothetical a little bit, but so obviously eight coaches are gone. All right, but do you think that there's any other positions that are not safe right now, or any other team?
Yeah.
What
Steelers.
team? Steelers?
I think the Steelers aren't going to fire him. I think, like I said earlier, I think they're gonna trade him.
Yeah. I could see that.
I just do.
So you think, Trent, you're Steelers with Tomlin, Trey?
I don't necessarily think he'll get fired this year, but a guy whose job I don't think is as secure as what it seems like is McDermott for the Bills.
Ooh, okay, all right. You think an early out in the playoffs could determine his fate? Maybe.
I think there might be talk of it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did say that preseason.
Yeah. All right, you ready for this one? And I don't know if you guys want to transition using this or not, but Mike McCarthy in Dallas.
Yeah.
A lot of rumblings that McCarthy fails here in the playoffs. You might be seeing a Bill Belichick in Dallas blue and silver.
Wow.
That would be crazy.
There's a big supposedly there's a Jerry Jones connection with Belichick. And I'll be honest with you, and again, if we want to transition, we can, or we can just discuss and leave it as it is. Dallas loses first round.
Don't. Okay.
Well, I'm telling you.
Before we get there. So you're telling me the Cowboys are going to hire Belichick over their defense coordinator?
Yeah, because Dan Quinn's going to Seattle.
Ooh, I like that. That's a wow. I didn't see that. I didn't see that happen.
That was part B of that.
Okay.
I did have two parts. I was planning for that.
I mean, Ty, that's for sure. I mean, every freaking year we're talking about McCarthy being on the hot seat, and now that they got rid of their offensive coordinator last year, if you recall.
Yep.
Who's now at the Chargers.
Yes.
I think this was maybe his like, hey, let me prove to you if I do this, I'm going to do it. You know, like
right.
It's kind of. I mean, I guess it was kind of Ron Rivera's last ditch effort to say that he's a decent head coach, which he's not. But yeah, I don't know. That's spicy. That Dan Quinn to Seattle makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's where he got his. That's where he got to start. You know.
So what happens? What happens if the Cowboys beat the Packers?
I think if Dallas loses round 1 or 2, I think McCarthy's gone.
Wow.
I think if they're not in the if they're not in the NFC Championship, he's definitely gone.
Okay.
Because if they get killed in the NFC Championship,
still might be gone.
I think he might be gone. Yeah, you're right. I really do.
It is a very.
That would be tough.
And we do joke about the script of stuff with the NFL. I mean, holy shit! Look at these games. You got Big Mike McCarthy going back against the Packers.
Every game has a headline. You're right.
Every game.
Yep.
It's nuts.
Hey, we're gonna get those headlines.
I know. I'm sorry.
Just wait.
Just getting a little excited.
Just wait.
Super Wild Card weekends right over the horizon.
I brought the name up. Do you guys? I guess one. This is the first guy I'm going to talk. Do you think Kellen Moore is a head coach anywhere?
Shouldn't be.
No.
No. Okay. 2. Does Harbaugh come back to the league?
Yes.
Does he come back to the NFL?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though they're trying to spread the rumor that he talked about spring practice starting later, bullshit.
I know.
Come on.
Gosh, do you guys? I know there's also the things out there. I don't know. I'm torn because I really want Antonio Pierce as the Raider. I just think he is right now, culture wise, the guy. I don't know X and O wise if he's the guy.
But if he can surround himself with the right X and O guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got to keep the D coordinator. If that guy's willing to stay, I think you got to keep that guy.
Bring Bisaccia back, too.
No.
I don't think Bisaccia wouldn't return.
He's staying in Green Bay.
But I don't know. I'm like, I mean, the year that I was hoping we would potentially keep Bisaccia, we go out and hire McDaniel, and it was kind of like, wow, okay, I can't believe we got McDaniel. But then it's like, yeah, it sucked again. And
yeah. I think your interim head coach record is better than your actually hired coach record.
It was.
Trey, it is. They've those two guys have out of a certain amount of games have the highest winning percentage.
That's crazy.
Dude, it's
and then
just hire them.
That's the thing, and you know what though? It is like a grass is always greener kind of thing. You know, hey, let's go get. Right. Oh man, we're bringing Gruden back. Oh my! Don't check his emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's bogus.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's just one thing after the next. It's like, what the hell is going on? And I don't know, man. It's frustrating. some of the stuff that goes on. I mean, you're obviously going to get a quarterback in this draft as well. Which there's been I've been looking at a lot of mock drafts that are very, very interesting here. But
you know how I bet he'll get hired by a team?
What's that?
I bet you two guys will get hired by some NFL teams. Marv Lewis and Lovie Smith.
That trade Marvin Lewis is already working.
Okay. Where at?
Oh, come on, guys. The Raiders.
What?
Oh, wow.
Doing what?
He has been like the advisor to the head coach there for Antonio Pierce.
Why you guys keep losing? Jeez.
No. It's Antonio Pierce that brought him in.
Maybe you want to move on from Pierce. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Listen,
let's get into some of these matchups.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'm eager to talk about them.
Yeah. So hey, can I rattle off some quick things here first?
Yeah.
No rattling.
These matchups. I'm just telling you right now, the best NFL against the spread records for the playoff teams. Okay, top 5.
Let's get
top 5. Ready? You want me to start at 5 and go to 1, or do you want me to go to 1?
Yes.
Okay, so the LA Rams.
Who starts with number 1 and goes to 5?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just so anticlimactic.
Count up.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, sorry guys. Jeez. Rams 10-6-1 versus the spread. Browns are actually tied for 5th here, but they haven't missed 4th. 10-6-1 as well. Ravens are 11-6. Buccaneers, number 2, are 11-6. And then the number 1 team, the Detroit Lions, 12-5 against the spread. So those of you making some wagers this weekend, if you're a against the spread record type of guy, there's a little chunk of knowledge there for you.
It's a good chunk of knowledge.
Welcome to that chunk of knowledge.
All right, let's jump into game number 1. All right, so game number 1 that we got here is going to be Saturday at 4:30. We got a Deshaun Watson matchup of Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans.
Tyler, are we able to watch that game, or do we have to buy some subscription to Sling TV?
Yeah.
Or
I think we just need to talk to Chris Jones from the Chiefs. Get us a Peacock subscription.
Okay. All right.
It is crazy how they're making you do all that now. They do it with Prime Video.
It's absurd. Everybody has Amazon, but Peacock, really, man?
But you know what? People are out there paying $400 a month for freaking Verizon and Xfinity, and then they're like, we're not going to give you this game.
Yeah. Right.
But you know what's crazy is people do it. We're all guilty for the most part. I mean,
bullshit. But
yeah.
So anyway, Browns Texans here.
Yeah.
You guys want me to give you spread numbers, or you just want to kind of pick them, discuss them?
Well, let's talk about the game in itself.
Okay.
All right. So the Browns are the wild card team, the 5 seed, right?
Which is
Texans are the 4 seed.
Yeah.
But really, I think people are heavily leaning on the Browns to be one of those dark horse teams that kind of makes a run in the playoffs.
I mean, the Texans are a home dog.
Yeah, which is tough in a playoff game, to be honest with you. Me personally, I think that I love Joe Flacco. I love what he's done with the Browns, and Stefanski's been amazing there this year. He'll probably be coach of the year, but I think the turnovers are going to come back to bite the Browns this week.
Ooh.
I think Flacco, he's a gunslinger. He can throw the ball down the field, but I think that comes with a lot of interceptions, a lot of bad decisions, etc. And I think D'Amico Ryans hypes his guys up enough where they're opportunistic on those turnovers. And I actually picked the Texans in that game.
You're also looking at the fact, though, too, of the Browns have one of the top defenses in the league going against a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. And don't get me wrong, I would just like to make a statement real quick. I was wrong about C.J. Stroud. All right, I am a believer in C.J. Stroud. I think that dude balled out this year. I did not see that coming. The kid can play, and I was very impressed at C.J. Stroud not only just the way he plays, but like his poise, the way he carries himself. He's a good dude. So I will be the first. I'll admit when I'm wrong, because I know in the beginning of the season and stuff, I was like, oh no way, I was wrong. C.J. Stroud, Texans got a guy there. So
they do.
Tyler, I will also back you on that, and also admit myself, I was very wrong too. I fell for the old headline of how bad he did on that stupid quarterback personality test.
Ridiculous.
Who the hell knows what it was? I fell for that crap. On that, I'm sorry, not person. You know, that score or whatever they give those
right.
guys when they ask them those weird ass questions in an interview to play football. But yeah, Tom, I'm with you on that. I'm a Stroud guy. Like I enjoy watching it, watching him play.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he makes plays.
I saw his success coming from a mile away, so I can't join you guys in that. No, I'm just kidding. but you're right. He really has, I think, like shocked some people.
And the only reason I was against him, not against him, but like thinking that he wouldn't be successful, is just like the track record of the Ohio State quarterback, which has not been the greatest. I mean, they've been okay, but for like a year or two, and then it's like, oh boy, you know. But like, and again, it's year one, you know. But the kid can play. The way that he actually keeps himself composed in the pocket and can play. I mean, I think he had one of the fewest amount of turnovers in the the entire league as a quarterback.
Right.
Definitely a lot less than Josh Allen. But
and
story for another day.
I mean, Josh Allen and Joe Flacco kind of remind me of each other. They're going to give you explosive plays here and there, but they're also going to give you some turnovers too. So
that's a very interesting comparison.
Yeah, but Flacco can't run for shit.
Hell no.
Well, okay. Well, besides the running, but no, seriously, the way that their mentality is,
they sling it.
Josh Allen will just run around the pocket and sling it downfield, and it's a pick. Joe Flacco he's whipping the ball all over the field. Yeah, he can't run as well, but I think it's a very, very good comp. Is the way those guys have been playing the last few weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I here's the one thing.
I'd say Stafford and Flacco are more similar.
Yeah, I think that. The one thing that I will say, Ty, I know you said the Browns' number one defense overall, but remember,
I said one at the top.
Number one. They're number one. Well, they were number one at home in terms of points allowed, but remember they were dead last on the road.
Yeah.
So that could be a little bit of a vulnerability there. I mean, Trey. I mean, you kind of said it is. Flacco's he's gonna get his. How do I want to put it? His highlights are him throwing the deep ball, right? And you're right in the sense of those Texans defensive backs. I think it's Stingley. I'm almost putting it out there that Stingley gets an interception that game. Ooh, like I would guarantee he gets an interception that game.
Well, and just a couple to injury notes here. Browns have rolled out their safety Grant Delpit with a groin injury. Dustin Hopkins, which actually is bigger than you realize. Dustin Hopkins was a very, very good kicker this year. Cedric Tillman, wide receiver, and they also limited Denzel Ward, one of their corners this week. One of their top corners with a knee injury. So Rappaport was purporting he's okay, but at the same time, I think Schefter also said he was questionable. So just something to keep an eye on too, because there's been a couple different weird injury bugs. I think who was the other one? Was it the Ravens or the Rams or something? There was a twisted ankle today. I just saw it too. But we'll get into that stuff. So, any other final thoughts here? I mean, you guys want to pick who you got? Trey, you said the Texans.
The one thing I'm worried about is D'Amico Ryans being distracted as a Alabama head coach candidate. I'm a little worried about that.
No
That's
way.
my dark horse move there.
He's saying, dude, he's not leaving.
He's a Bama guy, right?
Dude, but he's not leaving. He's got it so good right now. There's no way in hell. Right. There's no way in hell D'Amico Ryans is leaving.
I'm just saying.
Can you imagine leaving the NFL where you just took the Texans from one of the worst teams in the NFL to the playoffs in your first season?
The playoffs?
Can you imagine going to an NIL-driven college football league that's just a bunch of horse shit? There's no way in hell.
A lot of his prospects are going to be. A lot of those Alabama guys are leaving.
Dude. There's no way.
Oh, they are. They already are. They're a 5-star receiver.
He left an hour later.
Yeah, the kid from
Decommitted.
McDevitt that's going there supposedly might be as well. So, yeah, I'll go. Trey, you already gave your pick.
Yep.
So I will say Flacco is 5-0 in the wild card round straight up.
Yep.
As well as 5-0 against the spread. Which, in other words, the law of averages states the Texans plus 2.5, boys.
All right. Well, who are you taking as the winner?
Texans plus 2.5 because they win outright.
Okay, I'm going Browns.
We're picking money lines. We ain't picking spreads here.
Well, we kind of want to talk about who's going to win the game. Yeah.
Oh, Texans, but I got Texans plus 2.5.
All right, I take Browns both.
I take Texans both.
All right.
What's the trend?
Next game, what we like to call the Peacock game. the Chiefs and Dolphins, where if you walk outside, you actually might lose a limb with how cold it's going to be. Seeing negative 30 right now, boys.
Yeah.
Negative what?
Negative 30 with the wind chill.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. I saw people were talking about.
Super gusty, too.
Bet you Miami was wishing they would have won.
Right? Yeah, but no, I saw things where they're like petitioning to move the game.
Bullshit.
No, how cold it's going to be.
That's oh man, that just shows the softies.
Yeah.
Andy Reid will not let that happen. There's no way. There's no way.
Dude, if they move that game or change that shit, we're done. The NFL's done. NFL's done.
The only game that I saw potentially moving would have been they were considering moving it to Cleveland was the Bills game, Trey. The Bills Steelers.
Because of snow.
Yeah, there's like a huge state of emergency snow that's incoming.
Well, I saw Kansas City was advising people to stay indoors this weekend. And now they're telling people they're having this game at Arrowhead.
Hey, tickets are $55.
That's it.
What?
Tickets are going right now for $55. That's how cold it's going to be.
You guys want to go? Or...
Road trip.
Well, hey, what happened to your fingers? Yeah, I lost them. Yeah.
What?
No,
hey, what Peacock?
This is kind of a frustrating scenario because one, the NFL sat there and put this game earlier in the season in Germany. So unless you were somebody that woke up super early, you watched it. Everybody wanted to see Tyreek Hill versus old team. At least now we get Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City for this game. So that's the storyline. I mean, Tyreek Hill is going to go. I think Tyreek Hill is still going to go off.
So
I think he's going to have.
Trent, what you're saying is the NFL really doesn't want anybody to watch the Dolphins and Chiefs play. You put them in Germany, and now you're putting them on Peacock. What the hell is going on here?
Exactly.
But no, it is going to be interesting headlines. I mean, Tyreek Hill is obviously the story, but I don't know, man.
My breakdown for this, I stated this the other day, talking to some people at work, is the thing that you think of when you see Miami is because of Tyreek Hill is they are just throw it. But really, with McDaniel being from the Shanahan coaching tree, the Shanahan family line is known for the run game, and that is exactly what Miami Dolphins are known for. And I love, it's not even like you might say, but Miami doesn't have the line up front to do it. Miami can run the ball, and in this type of game, or this time of the year, right, you've got to be able to tackle, block, and run the ball. If you can't do those three things well, you're not going to be playing playoff football very long. And I just think I understand the limitations because of injury for Miami. I do like Miami to keep it close, at least with their run game, because the best way to beat Patrick Mahomes is to keep him off the field and control the clock.
Yeah.
I think this game is actually partially because of weather, but I think this game is going to be very low scoring. Like I'm thinking almost like a 13 to 9. Something along those lines, 13-10, 13-7. Right now, I think the total points is 43.5. What I was saying, that might have dipped a little bit, or
it was 40. It was 44 a little while ago.
All right, so
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
yeah. So Chiefs are actually a heavy favorite. I mean, the issue is the Dolphins are dealing with a shitload of injuries. I mean,
Right.
they have two outside linebackers. Xavier Howard went out. Chubb's done for the season. Like, I mean, Waddle's banged up. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? Is Mostert playing? Not sure. I think he is, but I mean, not gonna. Achan's good, but like, Dolphins are banged up, and then to come into Kansas City where freaking playoff Chiefs just piss me off all the damn time. But like, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Chiefs. The tough part is it's -30. It's in Arrowhead Stadium. Dolphins are going to have a tough matchup, but I also don't think the Chiefs are just going to run away with the game. I mean, if you have wide receivers that already can't catch a ball, try catching the ball at -30 degrees. You ain't going to do shit.
Right.
So, good luck there, Patty.
Yeah.
Calling him Patty. I am sticking
Go
with
ahead.
No, I was going to say, we talked about this hypothetical matchup last week, and how I thought it would be interesting, but now, like, a lot has changed since last week. There's a lot more curveballs involved. Heck, I would have taken the Dolphins plus 2.5.
Right.
If it was a regular weather game and they weren't as banged up as what they are. That being said, I think 5 points is a lot. Regardless of the weather and how cold it's going to be, the Dolphins are a good team. They have a lot of talent. They can score. It's just a matter of they going to kind of perform in this cold weather. I think the cold weather slows their speed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So trying to think, you're right. They are going to have to run the ball a lot more than what people would usually think they would. But
you said it's going to be windy too.
Yeah. Very gusty. Very gusty.
But no, I do. That being said, I don't think the Chiefs are necessarily the same Chiefs as what they are. I know we keep saying that. But 5 points for two very talented teams in a playoff game, I'm taking the points. That's just my belief. And I think the Chiefs win the game, but like Tyler said, I think it might be a struggle to get points for anyone, and that keeps it close.
So you're taking the Chiefs, Trey?
No, I'm taking the Dolphins plus 5.
But
I think the Chiefs win the game.
Okay, Chiefs win the game.
The Chiefs, yeah.
Dolphins plus 5. Trent?
There's that sharp guy Trey over there, you know.
5 points is a lot, man.
It is a lot of points, especially in a playoff game.
Yeah, for two very good teams.
Yeah, I think the game ends about like 23-13 is the final, and I think the Chiefs cover 4.5.
4.5. What about 5?
Just making your own line, or
I'm sorry, my ticket is 4.5, so
okay.
I'm sticking with 4.5. Chiefs minus 4.5. Every single book had it this evening, even.
He's so mad about it.
Well, he's making his own lines.
No.
I'll take the Texans. I'll take the Texans plus 12.
Trying to beer bet? What's up?
Sounds like when Trey wants to make a beer bet.
Yeah, exactly.
I will. I'll say. I just like I said. I think what it's going to come down to is Andy Reid's experience in the postseason. Andy Reid being able to know how to manage these types of conditions, and I like McDaniel, but his time's going to come. Their time's going to come soon, where they're going to be. I mean, they're already, I think, a top dog, but honestly, they're not quite there to take that leap, as we saw, because they should have. If they were, they would have beat Buffalo this past weekend.
Yeah. And
once again, a team with playoff experience, they grinded it out in the end. So that's why I'm sticking with the Chiefs minus 4.5, according to DraftKings, FanDuel, and ESPN Bet this evening.
Jeez.
So,
all right, my pick. I'm going Chiefs win, but I'm going to be as sharp as Trey, and I'm going to go Dolphins cover.
Yeah, that's right.
So again, tight game, shitty weather, blustery, but yeah, I think even though the Chiefs are not the Chiefs, I still do think that they are right now a little bit better than the Dolphins. So
yeah.
All right, next game we got. Interesting that the weather is becoming such a factor this weekend.
I love it.
Dude, I don't. I hate it actually. I hate that shit.
It can make crazy things happen, man.
I know. Next, we got the Steelers-Bills, 1 o'clock game on Sunday. In Buffalo. Buffalo, I believe, sits at -10, which is nuts. No, 9.5. I'm sorry. Minus 9.5. What?
I got a 9.5.
I've got, once again, FanDuel +10 Steelers and Bills.
There's 9.5 and 10, so I see both. But if you can get them 10, take them 10 for sure. Or no, sorry, take 9.5 for sure. I don't know. I mean, I know the Steelers are playing a lot better, but and I know the Bills. It's like what Bills are going to show up, but I'm gonna ride with the Bills on this one.
Yeah.
To cover.
Ooh, what are we
yes,
covering?
I will. I'll go ahead. 9.5. I'm absolutely betting the Bills 9.5.
Not. What about 10?
I would probably bet them 10 too, but I have 9.5.
Ooh.
And the reason being is the Steelers are a skeleton squad of who they should be playing, right? They don't have T.J. Watt, who really I think won them multiple games this year. They have Mason Rudolph starting at quarterback.
Yeah, but dude, Mason Rudolph's been the best quarterback that they played.
I don't care.
He's been scoring the most points for them.
Like I said, that does not change my mind at all. It's Mason Rudolph in the playoffs without their defensive star. And the Bills look hot right now, and they're playing at home.
Well, the Bills
and
look
I
hot
just
right
think
now?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't think the Bills look
Why?
hot right now.
Why not?
2 weeks ago they struggled.
But they won.
Barely. Against
you
the
got to
Chargers.
win the ugly games, Ty. You got to win the ugly games.
I'm not. I don't know. Is this a beer bet, Trent?
It sounds like you and Trey have a little beer bet brewing right now.
No, because I'm on the Steelers. Or sorry, I'm on the Bills.
You're on the Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Steelers +10. That's my pick.
Ooh.
Well, if we're beer betting it, we're getting it at the 9.5.
No, I would refuse to do that.
Oh, that sounds like a little kitty cat.
You're not gonna take the
like
hook.
a little.
Don't call me little kitty cat. I was the one. Hold on. I gave up last week. I gave up a half a point last week.
Does sound
so
like a kitty.
Why don't you meet me at 10? I'm not gonna be.
Okay, you gave up half a point. You gave half a point, and the Jackrabbits won by like 20 something.
I'm just saying. It was close all the way to the fourth quarter. I'm not. I will. If you want to beer bet me this game, I will beer bet you the Steelers +10.
All right, let's beer bet it.
Oh, put it on the board. Hey, shout out to Joey, because we are going to start actually putting out our beer bets in a table format, tweeting them, putting them on our website. Check it out, beer bets. Will also be listed right now. So hold on, what are we doing? We're doing 10.
Yeah, I'll take 10. I have enough faith in the Bills.
Is this a 2 versus 1 bet, or is this just 1 versus 1 tie?
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Okay, kitty cat, little kitty cat.
Give me the 10.
You don't get to do that, Trent. You don't get to do that.
Give me the 10.
You guys come. I'm taking it. You guys got the 2 seed versus the 7 seed right now, and I'm taking them as a dog right now.
But it could also be in shitty ass weather.
So what? Doesn't that favor Buffalo more than Pittsburgh up there?
Yeah,
It's one of the hardest stadiums to play at. They literally throw inappropriate bedroom toys at people. Like, come on,
Like what?
That's a terrible place to go.
Like what?
What are those? What are those things?
They're called dildos. Okay.
Oh yeah, they are called a dildo.
Hashtag dildo.
I forgot about that.
So,
Can we just say, do you guys remember when Booger McFarlane had the Booger Mobile?
Oh yes.
And they had to install a plastic shield at halftime because he kept getting hit by him.
Yes. Gosh.
He was a great commentator.
Really? You liked him?
No, he was god awful.
Oh, I was gonna say he used to state the obvious. He'd be like, "Hey, it's first and 10. It's first and 10, so they're gonna probably need about 10 yards to get a first down here."
What upsets me so much?
Him and his stupid skin helmet.
Yeah.
He looks like he has a permanent helmet on.
That's terrible to say.
You could say the same thing about me when I shave my head, idiot. He's just sitting over there. Joey's sitting over there with his widow's peak.
No, because Booger has like a ledge around the whole like brow, where it looks like he's like wearing like a hat made of skin.
All right,
Jeez,
so
that's rude.
All right, whatever.
So hold on. So me and Trey are Bills -10. Oh, shit.
No, Trey, I hope if you ever run into Booger McFarland and he's a listener, I hope he hits you with a big old dildo. Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the cheek.
Yeah.
Right in your widow's peak.
All right. Wow.
Or his widow's cheek.
Wow.
It's pretty prevalent there. Sorry. Just gotta give yourself a haircut there, sir.
Yeah,
I gotta shave my head.
Guys, I will say this: the Steelers are. This is why this is. I mean, me to even taking them with 10 points is kind of risky for me. But
shut up. Just shut up.
The Steelers are
10
1
points
and 10
in a playoff
without JJ Watt. I'm just saying.
Or TJ Watt.
TJ.
Sorry, TJ Watt. 1 and 10 without him. So
I did appreciate JJ Watt's tweet though. Think they'd notice.
Oh yeah, if you went out and played.
It's awesome. All right. Next game, Super Wildcard Weekend. Ooh.
That's right.
The youngest team ever. The
They are
Packers
to make the playoffs.
versus the Cowboys. Right now, line sits at 7 on DraftKings. Packers being the dog with +7. It's in Dallas on Sunday at 4:30.
Yeah. I've said it before, but honestly, I'm just going to enjoy watching the game. The Packers have nothing to lose at all. It's a rebuild year for them. They managed to make the playoffs. Jordan Love's going to get playoff experience regardless. Yeah, so I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's terrible.
Spoken like a true loser.
Why is that terrible? That's not
That's
spoken
what
like a
losers
true
say.
loser.
It's
We
literally
are
what
playing
losers
the
say.
number 2 seed. No. We were playing the number 2 seed that's been, has a 20-game home win streak.
I'm just happy to
Like,
be
that's-
here.
No, in all honesty, it's a win-win for the Packers. If we win, holy crap, we just knocked off the 2 seed that had no business being there.
Want to go fast?
The legacy, the Packers' legacy of owning the Cowboys in the
Wanna do it
playoffs
with my
lives
hands?
on. If we lose, then like I said, Jordan Love gets playoff experience. We overperformed for the year. I'm happy with it either way. The big headline is being Big Mike McCarthy taking on his previous team and stuff, but really what it all comes down to is which Dak Prescott is gonna show up. Is it gonna be the playoff poop running down his leg Dak, or is it gonna be regular season arguable MVP season he had playing? So it'll be I think a fun game to watch, but ultimately I do think the Cowboys win this game.
So, real quick, Trump, before I'll let you go in a second here. This was actually the game that I saw this fluke injury that popped up. Was Jair Alexander during the jog through, stepped on a guy's foot, twisted his ankle today.
Yeah.
So, which kind of sucks for him.
So
because,
Tyler, would you say it's a coin flip whether or not he plays? Sorry.
Yeah.
this guy.
He's been. I don't know how to feel about Jair.
Now, it is going to be an interesting game. I mean, Trey, you're right. I mean, it does come down to which Dak shows up. I also just think it's like if the Packers can just contain, Dallas a little bit and have Dak make a couple mistakes with, bringing some pressure, make him panic a little bit, throw a pick here or there, or throw a pick in the red zone, or you know what I mean? If he throws one pick in the red zone, Packers win this game.
Yeah.
Calling that right now.
Yeah.
One pick in the red zone, no matter what it happens, because what happens is it's going to be complete just steamroll.
I think what needs to happen is they gotta rein in the big plays. If CeeDee Lamb gets a big touchdown catch quickly,
yes.
Then I think the Packers are in trouble because the Packers aren't a team to score quickly, big play pack. Like they make drives. They have 1 or 2 drives a quarter if they're lucky. So really, you can't let the Cowboys score fast. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
I also just want to say that I can guarantee you that in this game there will be 3 holding calls in the favor of Micah Parsons at least.
In favor of Micah? Oh, rushing the quarterback.
Because right now all the talk I'm hearing is, in the last 11 games there hasn't been 1 flag for holding called against Micah Parsons. Blah, blah, blah. That's ridiculous. He's so much better than that. There has to be holding. Blah, and like that's all. I feel like they're just like priming us for a flag fest.
Yeah,
and that's gonna frustrate
that's
the
frustrating
heck out of me.
What?
Yeah.
I'm already getting heated just thinking about it.
Yeah. Hey, but Trey, remember, you're just happy
fests.
to be there. It just.
Yeah,
You're
but
just-
I
you're just
can't.
happy to
I
be
got. Yeah, but when you're in the heat of it, man. And then if we win, we got the Niners.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. We'll talk.
Yeah, that's.
No,
I,
so
I,
go ahead, Trent.
I think.
Well,
just to give
hold
you
on, Trey.
my
What's your
quick-
pick? What's your pick,
I'm sorry.
Trey? And then Trent, you can give us your input.
Honestly, it's tough. I think 7's a good line for this game. I think 7.5 was what it opened at, which is even better because it could get really ugly and the Cowboys could run away with it, or the Packers could make it a really good game. I'm going to go with my head, not my heart. I'm going to go Cowboys -7.
Cowboys -7.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, RJ.
Ooh, man. Could make this real
It's hard.
interesting.
All right, RJ.
No, I know Tyler's already going to pick. He already talked about the Packers winning. You want to talk about an RJ, Trent? Tyler's the biggest RJ ever.
We gotta quickly clarify what RJ means.
Doesn't stand for like right jerk.
Or rim job.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going.
Right jerk. That stands for
Reverse
stands
jinx.
for reverse jinx. I'm sorry.
Good thing we're not going to the B teasers after this.
Yeah.
I decided I'm still laughing about what Tyler said. I'm like, no, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Right jerk.
Not a left one.
Anyway,
Oh,
I like Packers +7 here in this spot. I actually in this game, I could see it being either a field goal game, but honestly, for some reason, the score in my mind that I'm seeing as I look at it is because I think the Packers are going to be able to score on them.
Agreed.
I think they're going to be able to move the ball down the field. I worry about them being able to stop a CeeDee Lamb, but I mean, how much of a threat is Pollard and Dallas's run game? Like, I think that's what's going to end up catching up to Dallas in the end. But I'm going like 24-20. The Cowboys win, and the Packers cover the +7. So that's my pick.
Well, I agree. Packers cover +7. I'm also saying the Packers are going to win this game.
Oh my god.
I think Dallas chokes. They're due for a choke. I think Dallas chokes this game. And I mean, we could really kind of give Trey a win-win situation if we wanted to beer bet this, Trent.
I'm not beer betting this.
So you and me take the Packers +7. Trey takes Dallas -7. It's a win-win for Trey.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that, Trey.
Come on, Trey.
I mean,
You can't lose. You either get beer or your team wins.
You would never do that. You would never do that personally yourself.
Yeah, I'm not beer betting it. I'm just betting with my head. And it makes me so mad that Tyler picked the Packers to win because Trent, that you want to talk about an RJ.
What?
Like, I know what you're doing, Tyler. I know what you're doing. Oh, the Packers should win this game. They should.
Dude, we're destined to play in the playoffs.
You don't want to see us next round.
We're
you don't want
destined
to
play in the playoffs.
Oh, God, that would make me so mad.
I know it will. I've already talked about it today.
Like I said, that we have
Niners,
nothing to lose, so whatever.
Round 2. Let's go, Trey. Let's go.
Talk about David and Goliath.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Man, we're kind of a biblical show here. We got David and Goliath. We got Zacchaeus, the tax collector. What else?
We're definitely not biblical. We just talked about rim jobs.
Yeah.
Not biblical.
Rim jobs and right jerks.
Right jerks.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, don't elaborate.
No, but hey, I will say this, Trey. I mean, Packers win. Niners have the Packers, period.
I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're gonna have to almost record either 2 separate shows if it's Niners Packers the following weekend. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, Trey usually doesn't talk to me if that happens.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
The whole week?
Yeah, he ignores me the whole week. He always does that.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll text you my picks.
Little pussy.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
Well, so hypothetically, say the Packers do win, they get the Niners next round. What do you think that spread would be?
14.
Okay.
I'm being serious.
Okay.
At least 14. It'll probably start at 13 and a half. Well, I think it goes all the way up to 14 and a half.
That would be interesting.
No, dude, I'm just being honest.
No, I didn't say anything. I know what you're saying.
Like, what were you?
Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next.
What do you
game.
think it would be?
I don't know. I just wanted to hear your hypotheticals, but go ahead.
Okay.
Next game.
He's already mad. They don't even play.
I'm just mad that you picked. I'm just mad you picked the Packers money line. Like, I know what you're trying to do.
What are you talking
There's
about?
no way in your heart of hearts you believe in that bet.
I don't believe in Dallas, Trey. That's the problem. You have to understand, Trey, as a Niner fan, I don't sit there and hate the Packers. But as a Niner fan, I sit there and I hate the Cowboys and I hate the Seahawks. Like, you have to understand that. I don't know.
Tyler, do you hate the Eagles?
I am not a fan of the Eagles.
After last year.
And it's honestly, it's been more so because of Sirianni. I think he's a jackass. I didn't mind him with Andy Reid, or even the hell's his name? Peterson. I didn't even hate him with Peterson, but like Sirianni is just a jackass, and I do not like him at all. So in that sense,
Agreed.
Yeah, not a fan, and that's his fault.
Just
but I still can't.
Bit.
What?
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I will still say, like, as a Niner fan, though, I will always hate Dallas, and I will always hate Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, those are two teams that I just know. Like, I just won't. So.
Tyler, you mentioned a guy that I completely forgot about. And Trent, you asked the question of someone right now that's safe that you think is gone. It's got to be Doug Peterson. He's got to be out of the Jags.
You have been saying that.
Oh my gosh, the way that they collapsed at the end of that season, not make the playoffs.
Well, and how about Eberflus being safe? I know this is completely backtracking. We'll get back on it, but like from the Bears, like what the hell?
Yeah.
Especially with all the names available.
Which I will say this: it tells you that they're trading back. They're not taking a quarterback. They're trading back. They're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, how far are they trading back? Because if you don't, the only place you can trade back to is number 2. If you still want to actually get Marvin.
3.
I disagree. Like, do you think the Commander? Okay, we're getting off task here. You really think the Commanders aren't going to take Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No. No, they're taking a quarterback.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Are they gonna have an all UNC QB room?
I don't know, man. It's Sam Howell, Drake May. That's true. No, I think 2 and 3 definitely take quarterbacks. 4 is the Cardinals. Cardinals are totally going after Harrison Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rams-Lions.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, let's get to this. Let's get to this spicy one.
All right, Rams-Lions, obviously, big headline is the Stafford Goff game in Detroit. My first initial thought is, how in the hell did the Rams get in the playoffs? I mean, that's my first thought. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not as surprised as what you guys seem to be. The Rams are a good team.
I think they're a team. I think Kieran Williams was a big, good surprise for them.
Yeah. What about Puka Nacua?
Yeah, but you also had, Cooper Kupp. Like, the wide receiving core was not something that surprised me, but their running back is something that surprised me. So I think he was a very good big. I think if he didn't have the kind of year that he had, even being a little banged up for a little bit, I think they're not in the playoffs for sure. I mean, the guy ran for 1,144 yards, 12 touchdowns, on 228 carries. So he's averaging 5 yards a carry. I mean, the guy's, that's insane. So
he averages the most yards per game.
What's that?
He averages the most yards per game, rushing yards.
Yeah, second leading rusher in the NFL.
Yep. Yeah, I personally think that Sean McVay, I think he's a great coach. I think what he did with the team this year was fantastic.
Yeah, Trey, I agree, man. McVay's got the guys playing. I mean, Stafford got a little banged up at one point in time, but the fact that I don't know, as Cooper Kupp played more than even half the season. You got a guy like Nacua, you got the Kieran Williams guy that we talked about. I mean, he got a lot out of his guys. I mean, and you didn't even hear a lot about Aaron Donald this year.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and for them to be in the playoffs at 10-7, out of the NFC West, I mean, over Seattle, which I think, Trey, you picked Seattle, I think, to make the wild card at one point, which obviously was kind of a toss-up. But, yeah, I don't know. I did not see the Rams being in the play, let alone being solidified the playoffs before Week 18.
Right. I think what really made them make that leap from like 500 decent team to looking like a threat and a very good team is, like Trent said, Kyron Williams and how they started to use him. Yeah. He's just pounding the ball, getting 5-yard chunk runs like almost every time he touches it. And then what that does is that opens up these slants, these outs, these other passes for a very good receiving core with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
Yeah. They
also have Tutu Atwell, who's a speed guy. So I mean, I don't know. This is the game to me where I pick the upset, like the big upset. I know the Lions are tough; they're gritty. Dan Campbell's got a great culture there, but I don't trust Jared Goff. In big moments when a throw needs to be made or a drive needs to be made, I don't trust Jared Goff. I think he is the epitome of like a system quarterback in terms of, hey, this is where the ball has to go. I'm going to time it up, boom. And he has great games. He does. But when he has to improvise or if he has to like really put the team on his back, I don't like him. What's that?
You got to think though, Jared Goff has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, but does he? Like, he should have a chip on his shoulder, but he doesn't.
He came out and said it. He goes, "That'll never."
But he doesn't carry him. He doesn't carry himself that way. He doesn't play like that.
Which actually might be better.
No, I think it's all talk with him.
I don't know. I'm going Lions big.
I am, Tyler. Double down on that with you. I am so sick of us talking about the Rams for as long as we did.
Wow.
A waste of a playoff spot. Lions.
Oh my gosh.
Lions crazy. High scoring game. High scoring affair in my
opinion. I agree with
that. I think Stafford, Stafford's going to have a little inspiration coming back to Detroit where he was mediocre most of his career. He's
not even most, Trent. He's played most of his career now in Detroit.
Well, he's playing with a little chip on his shoulder, or I should say at least his wife is, considering she's super upset out there on social media because there's a group of Lions fans trying to make sure nobody wears Matt Stafford Lions jerseys to the game this weekend. Pathetic. Shush up. Lions are gonna pound them, but it is going to be high scoring. It might be a little close early on. Offensive line play is going to be key, meaning the Lions' offensive line is going to neutralize Aaron Donald, which Tyler, I think you said barely heard his name this year, and I think the Lions' defensive line is going to pressure Matt Stafford into making his typical interception or two a game. So I got Lions big. Plus, guys, I got the secret fact. Actually, Trey, before I share this factor, would you like the beer bet on this one, straight up money line? Because you said this is your big upset.
It just cracks me up how Trent always tries to get the upper hand on the beer bets.
He does.
Money lines.
He is good at that.
Well,
yeah, so no, unless you want to give I gave you your ticket for the Bills Steelers game. Okay. So why don't you give me mine for plus 3.5 Rams?
Oh no, I have 3.
I know, but I have 3.5. I have 3.5. So I gave you 10. I gave the Steelers 10. Why don't you give me the?
Won't do it.
Interesting.
Hold on a second, Trey. I'll do 3.
No, I have 3.5.
All right, give it to me.
Give it to me too. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take 3.5 for sure. They're down their asses. Oh, sorry.
That's 2 weeks in a row you're talking about pounding asses.
RJ's and, Anyway, yeah, so here's the little secret, Ty. We won this, by the way. We're going to win this bet.
Oh, man.
I'm a little worried because I'm sounding as confident as Trey was last weekend with those with the Jaguars. Remember that? God. And I even said, initially, I'm just telling you the Titans are going to upset the Jags. And then, Ty, you jumped on board with Titans plus 3.5.
Yeah.
And then it was all downhill from there for Trey. But for those weird moon people, which as a July 18th person, moon is very connected to me.
Tyler, as am I.
Yes. So for the weird moon people, the moon was in a waxing crescent. The last time the Lions won a playoff game. The moon on Sunday will be
Trey?
a waxing crescent.
A waxing crescent.
Well, thanks for sharing that after our bet, huh?
Damn right. I told you.
Trey, you're not a moon guy.
But the Lions are a moon team.
What?
Remember the Thanksgiving? If they play on a waxing gibbous, then
I think it was a wing
they lose, and then either one.
So the tide will be turning in our favor.
I see what you did.
It's a moon joke.
That was a moon. Yep. That was a moon.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Lions big, boys. Lions big. I'm on them. And we will say, I think one of our listeners, we mentioned him earlier, Jay Mills, Joey, made a good point. I don't think the Lions are going to put some sort of here, let's put like a video up to acknowledge Matt Stafford. They better not in a playoff game. A Dan Campbell, trying to put a lion cage with an actual lion in our stadium type of coach. There's no chance in hell that they better do that. It's to me, I hope he treats it like we're going to go destroy this guy. He thought you couldn't win in this team and before this
if
team.
They put out a Matt Stafford appreciation video before the game, that is awful.
Yeah, totally.
And that's when I think that would definitely mean a Rams
Correct
win.
me if I'm wrong.
Just ridiculous.
Aren't the Lions like tech group? They're pretty good though, aren't they?
I have no idea.
I think they are. I think I remember some of their draft stuff. I think they're actually pretty good. There's no way in hell they're gonna do a Matt Stafford thing.
Good.
They better not. They better do the opposite. Okay, maybe not the opposite, but seriously, the guy pretty much said, "Get me out of here. I can't win here." And then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. Good for him. They're also a freaking superstar loaded team that they bought, and that's why. Yep. Yeah, they have no draft capital anymore. So
here they are in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the NFC. But anyway, let's keep going.
That's such a cop-out,
yeah,
man.
that is a cop-out, Trent. That's a dumb comment.
NFC.
Last game, all right, of Super Wild Card Weekend is the Eagles and Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. Wait, you know what? It's not in Philly. It's in Tampa Bay. Oh.
Yeah.
Philly, that's right. Sorry.
Whoops. Oh, man. Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
That sounded like a jab.
But, no, I forgot it was in Tampa Bay. It's weird.
Yeah. This is a weird game for me. So, on paper, and if you would have told me this was a playoff game in the first half of the season, I would say the Eagles might win by over 20 points.
Yeah, I think the Bucs were making the playoffs.
Well, that, and I didn't think that the Eagles would crumble and falter. The Eagles were 11-1, I believe, or 11-2.
No, it was 11-1.
And they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they were 10. They were 10-2. I think they were 10-2.
No, they were 10-1, and then they ran into San Fran.
And then they failed to reach 12 wins on the season.
I saw, and they were set at 11.5.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So, to me, that is the ultimate second half of the season fail job. But I still think
FJ.
Yeah, and I still FJ. Whoa.
of course, Trey said.
Trey
that.
would say that. He would say that. FJ, he loves that.
Get out of here.
Shout out Rex Ryan. No,
allegedly. That's not true.
Allegedly.
Oh man, no. Anyway,
Trey's like, I don't know what I was saying.
The Eagles have. No, I'm not. Because it's not true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. Because you guys always bring this up, and there's no ground to stand on.
Tyler, he's ready to end the episode.
Oh my God, get out of here! No,
where you gotta go, Trey?
Get out of here. No, but what I was gonna say is, for the past couple weeks, I think I said it last week too. I always am like, oh, the Eagles are gonna bounce back. They're gonna bounce back big. It was just a fluke game. Blah blah blah. Look at their roster, their talent, the history, and every week it's like, holy crap, they're losing to the Cardinals. Oh my God, they're going to lose to the Giants, and it's just
they've looked worse and worse.
Right, and here I am again doing the same thing. I mean, I think the Eagles win, and I'm taking their points -2.5. I just think they're too good. Their roster's too good, and they have too much talent to not win that game. The Buccaneers, Tyler, you said Baker Mayfield had a good stretch there, but the last 2 weeks of the season, he hasn't really looked that good.
He didn't look good at all.
I don't. And if he can't throw the ball and they can't move the ball downfield, then I think they are going to struggle. They put up 9, didn't score a touchdown against the Panthers in the finale
at all. I know.
They're lucky to get into playoffs with how bad they played that game. But I think the Eagles win, and I do think that the Eagles kind of get back on track because I think they're overlooked. I think a lot of teams are down on them right now. And that's a dangerous team. When people are doubting you and you have that much talent and you can play very well, you become pretty dangerous.
Well,
Trey, I think you're falling into your same trap right now. You're just like
I
you're
know.
trying to convince yourself of this, and I get it because I would say the recency bias, right? That I love so much would say to bet the Eagles because everyone's abandoning ship.
No, the recency bias would tell you to bet against the Eagles.
But see, no, I think So I'm sorry. Yes. So recency bias would be bet the Bucs, right?
Right. Correct.
However, I think the majority of the people are thinking like you're thinking.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
There's no way they're this bad, right? 10-1, like you guys said, there's no way. But I actually do think they're a team that is. I think they're done. I think they're burnt. I think they're burnt out. You know, you make a dominant run last year, get to the Super Bowl, get beat when you really shouldn't have gotten beat because you played a great game in the Super Bowl. Now I think it's, how healthy is AJ Brown? How healthy is Jalen Hurts? How healthy is Devontae Smith, who missed the last week with an ankle? there's too many factors going into it right now where I once again, I know that they struggled to score points against the Panthers, but I'd be surprised if they can't score against the Eagles the way their defense looks. So I'm on the Buccaneers now. Let's get my line. I got +3 for the Bucs.
Is Darius Slay back? Anybody know?
I think he is.
I think he will be.
So I do think it does go into the fact of injuries. I mean, Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a ball since he banged up his finger. That came out today. AJ Brown didn't practice today. I mean, I know they played Monday, but like, you got a team that's not only like already struggling, now they're also injured. I mean, that's also, you know, a big red flag. And not to mention though, the weather in Tampa Bay is supposed to be really rainy. It's supposed to be pretty shitty weather. So put that into it too, and I mean, it's. I will say this. Maybe the Eagles get their dirty security guard back on the sideline, which he's now able to come back because it's end of the regular season.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
they're dirty
security guard putting his hands in guys' faces. Dirty as shit, man.
Big Dom.
Yeah, so he can be back on the sideline with, you know.
Hey, you're not that dirty, Dom. We just want to say we respect you.
Yeah.
No, he's dirty as shit. He literally he punched a player.
I'll be careful.
He did not. Okay.
Big guy. Probably has a lot of cool.
Greenwell's the one that tried punching him first.
Second.
No.
Watch the video, Trey. Watch the video. Don't have recency bias, Trey. No, I don't know. I mean, I do have the Eagles, just because. I mean, after the way the Bucs played last week against the Panthers, sheesh. I mean, it was tough. Yeah. I think weather plays an important factor in this. I mean, this is kind of a toss up for me, but I'm gonna go Eagles. Eagles win this, and let's say, you know, Packers don't end up beating the Cowboys, then San Fran plays the Eagles. So, in my opinion, but. That's where I'm going. That's interesting. You know, I would obviously love to play the Bucs for sure, especially after the way we played them early in the season. But I think the only way that would happen is if every single team wins, the higher seed wins this week. So,
right,
because Bucs are 4, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think either Packers or Eagles will win. So, play one of those teams. Wouldn't mind playing the Rams. Not gonna lie. But, all right. Anything else, guys?
I would just say I think that I would not say that. Division teams playing each other in the playoffs, I think evens the playing field a little bit. Just like I think the Ravens do not want to see the Browns. I don't think the Niners want to see the Rams.
I mean, but I look at it this way though: is like San Fran has already played the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Rams. Yeah, I mean, they haven't played the Packers or the Lions. Like that's it. Sorry, and the Buccaneers. They haven't played the Lions. And they haven't played the Packers. So it's like we've already played all, you know, the four of the 6 teams. So pick your poison.
Let's be real. Let's go Packers, man.
No. I mean, yeah, but God damn it.
He just said no.
No, I mean, obviously, obviously, okay. Obviously, I want the Packers to win, but you want it for a different reason, and that pisses me off.
Trey, you're mad that I'm cheering for the Packers. I can't.
It's not for the right reason.
Can't win.
We can't win.
Can't win.
You pick against them early in the season. You give them respect, and now you're cheering for them, which I'll always cheer from the brothers' teams.
Me too,
Quite
Trey.
frank, at this point in the year, guys, let's be real. I mean, actually, it's been a month now since I've pretty much just been paying attention to Duke basketball. So, let's go Niners. Let's go Packers. You know, at least if the Packers win, either the Packers or the Niners are going to be in the NFC Championship. That's the way I look at it,
There
guys.
you go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, realistically, it's the 49ers Super Bowl to lose, so.
I agree.
If the Raiders ever make it that far and neither of your teams are still in it, just please cheer for my Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm one of the few Niners fans out there that doesn't hate the Raiders.
Well, because of me, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never had a reason to hate them. Like, I think it's probably because more so than the fact that like we don't live like where they were like from. But like, I don't know. I mean, heck, even George Kittle today complimented Max Crosby. He goes, when you get in the playoffs, he goes, everybody is Max Crosby. And, like, that's the guy, like, the tier that he used as, like, the defensive guy that you got to block.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was Kittle's quote. So,
it's like, how funny was that video? Gardner Minshew. Max Crosby's such an angry guy. He keeps calling everybody little ass boy.
it's awesome.
He is through and through a Raider. If we don't hold on to him,
Got to. Don't make the same mistake you did with Khalil Mack.
Oh, I know.
But,
so we don't bring Gruden back.
anything else, guys?
Hey, that was a super good episode 50 for Super Wild Card Weekend, baby.
Wild Card Weekend.
There you go.
Giddy up. Happy Friday, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy football. Oh, man, it's going to be awesome. It's when you get into the excitement time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Excitement time.
Excitement time. RJ's, FJ's, excitement time. All right. Trey, have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. See you, fellas.
See you guys.